Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is AR Catholic, and we're going to attempt what is actually, I guess, like the should be part 6, but I guess it'll really be part 5 maybe. No. We're going to attempt to pick up the adventure after the battle, the victory at Morgana's Hollow. Are you working, microphone? Are you working now? Thank you. All right. Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. All right. So as a recap from my recap of my summary, they defeated the other bounty hunters that were there looking for them. Morgana got hurt pretty bad. Now we're going to say that they're going to get a sleep through the night. Yeah. So no encounter during the night. And as far as natural healing, they're gonna keep watch, and because she got beat up pretty bad, so healing I think is overnight rest. So she definitely does get an overnight rest, so it's going to be 1 hit die plus con check a bonus. So yeah. All right, and then add con check bonus to all. Okay. All right, so they give her time to rest. They let her rest, and they chit chat. But between the other two, they kind of split up the watch, and they've got their horses who also will ninny and neigh or whatever. Whinny, that's the word I was looking for. So she's going to get D6 plus her Constitution bonus, which I'll just say is +1. All right, so she's going to get 6 hits back. She had 13, so she's going to be just down 7 now. So she's at 11. So she feels much better. During the night, he's going to try to fix her helmet. Now, he wasn't necessarily much of a tinker. He was more of a trader than a craftsman. So I'm not going to give him any advantage. It'll just be a straight. I think it probably will be a strength roll, since he's kind of trying to force things back into place. So we'll say it's a strength check. 9. All right. So he's not able to fix it, and so her helmet will be. It'll be damaged until professionally repaired. And like she said, she knows somebody in town. So the next day, all right, so day 5, back to the city. The weather, generate that weather. 9. I know we've been rolling on the dry season. So boiling and still. So it's been pretty hot lately. Oh, I need to transfer over their XP gold. So that's 76 gold. And then 10 times hit dice. So 6, 7, 8. So 80 XP. For the battle. That'll probably end up having to get split up 3 ways, but that's all right. That's actually, I'm going to take a quick look at the companions. Let's see. Actually, what I want to see is if the companions get the XPs or if they just go up with the characters. So I'm going to pause real quick and I'll be right back. All right, so the companions, they do XP and level gain, rather than just abstracting, a companion actually gains XP the same way the PC does. Generally a half share of the treasure found. I'll say one third in this case, for now anyway. And this allows companions to level up over the course of a campaign. So I have an idea that she, the barbarian, will probably be interacting with the PCs when they get back, if they get back. So, all right. So plus 76 gold and plus 80 XP. All right. So we know from our trip there that it's 4 hours to the city. And we're just going to do the same thing because they may still get an encounter. There are other barbarians or other bounty hunters. It took 4 hours to get there, so it's 4 hours to get back to the city. For our time check, it's D8 hours, so if it's anything below 1 through 4, and well, you guys probably don't know that it took 4 hours to get there because my audio disappeared. Yeah, I'm not sure if I included that in the summary. 1 through 4. Okay, so they break camp, they have breakfast, and then an hour in, we're going to do the encounter check. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we do have one, but that's when you make the check. All right. Whoops, wrong way. All right, so they're in a forest. Now, probably haven't had a good look at the map for a little while. Again, because of the recording issue, but there it is. They went from hills to forest. So 1 hour, because it took 4 hours there in the forest, so they're still in the forest. And so our forest is going to give us a risk of 2. So rolling on our little table here, we're going to roll 1 die for this wilderness table. And if it's a 1 or a 2, we've encountered a danger. If it's a 6, it's a new discovery. Otherwise, we just travel through our merry way, singing our little hobbit songs as we go. 6, okay, so there's a discovery. That's cool. Let's see what our discovery is. Our wilderness discovery. 1, it's an unnatural feature. Uh-oh. And what type of unnatural feature is it? 5/5. It's a planar distortion. Huh. Well, that's a little high magic for me, but let's see. So as they look around, I kind of imagine it to be like a thinny gunslinger, where they see, and who knows what's causing it. Yeah, nothing's actually coming out of it. So it's not like a gate or anything. There's just something distorted. But I got this was actually an oracle roll to see if something was actually going on. So the answer is no. And I got that 6. That turns it into a. I can never tell my 6 from my butt or my and. Okay, so yeah, so nothing's going on. Like there's no gate. There's no real activity. And 6 is and. It's actually very peaceful. Say maybe it's the noise it makes, the humming is peaceful, and they must have not come this way before, or it might be new. You never know. But they did not recognize it. They sit around there for an hour, kind of looking and exploring around, see if they can figure out what it is. The vagrant, she just wants to go Maureen wants to go. She doesn't care what's causing it. But the two more adventurous folks, they decide that they actually want to go on looking around for a while, and she's not going to go traipsing off by herself. But they do eventually grow bored. They don't find anything. They throw some rocks through it. Nothing happens. Um, I was kind of thinking it'd be cool if it was like a stalker, kind of anomaly where there's some poor goblin trapped in it, hovering, getting twisted into an artifact. But not today. So they kind of try to note down where it's at to just look at it and see if it's still there later on. But the interesting but otherwise useless planar distortion they leave behind and head back into the city. Let's see, is she actually... I don't know that she's actually wanted in the city, because she left for fear of assassins. And that's why she was hiding. She thought someone was out. But is she wanted in the city? I'll say it's unlikely that she's wanted in the city. So 5 or 6. Nope. No. So people go in, and they do still have their horses. So she doesn't have a horse. But she doesn't need one. She walks like a proud barbarian. Although proud barbarians ride horses when they get tired. So, but they get in, and she leads them through town to some people that she knows. She exchanges coins here and there. She manages to she gets some treatment from a strange, hobbled, bent over old woman who throws a bunch of stinky herbs everywhere and looks to do some kind of magic that ends up healing her. Okay, 6 plus her constitution bonus. We'll say again is a plus 1. So she's up to 17. Actually, she's up to 18. So. All right, so she's up there, and she's going to, we'll say that she just comes out of her own little traveling funds that she already had before meeting them. So she runs over to a blacksmith, an armor smith that she knows. She introduces, and so it's also a good way for these people, for our heroes, to make some contacts. So now they at least know where there's a healer. Now it doesn't mean that the healer is going to help them if Morgana's not with them, but they meet her armorer friend who fixes her helmet and leaves just enough of a dent in it so that she can brag about surviving another mortal blow. Let's see. All right. So since we're in town, take everything back to a safe place. I'm going to work out the XP and gold split. All right. So I went and did all the upkeep. Split the gold, split the XP. Paid to repair weapons and replace rations, and stuff like that. And they do that, and she wants to go, our crazy barbarian lady, she wants to go carousing. She wants to go to the bar and drink and gamble and things like that. Our trader is, he will, because he wants to... Well, he's had some good heroic actions. He wants to share his tales and win and lose some coin. And does Morian? She doesn't really want to hang out alone. It's not really something she likes to do. But she spent her time, hanging around there. So I'll say 50-50. She'll go too. Yes. All right. So they all go out and they'll they'll just do some gambling. Is there any kind of interesting event or anything that happens? I'll say probably not. It's just a regular night on the town. Yeah, no. So nothing happens. I'm gonna have them gamble. What I was thinking as I was looking through the downtime would be cool is if this had like a just like a regular kind of carousing table, something simple. And you, of course, you could use the tables in the back to do it, but just something like you might roll. You get in a bar fight, you find 2 gold on the ground, something like that. That would be kind of cool. Okay, downtime, gambling. And I think I'm just going to make a single roll for all of them. And no one's super rich. So I think collectively they'll do uh, they'll do 50. And who's best? Who's going to have the So it's either a wisdom or a charisma check. So you know what? I've had her charisma at I forgot to put her, even though she doesn't have a modifier, she does have um a level bonus because it's a primary statistic. All right. So she gets +1. We'll let her, which makes sense. They all know how to throw dice and play the devil's alley or whatever. But we'll let her roll. We'll use our little fancy gambling chart here. So D20 and then +1. Ah, 4 complications. So they lose 25. Well, I'll do 27 just so everyone can lose can lose 9. All right. Oh, really? I should be keeping the gold in the stash actually like in a pouch probably. Well, I'll worry about that later. Yeah, I really should be doing that. The stash, you need to kind of figure out where the stash is. And a pouch that holds up to 200 coins should be one of your slots, your inventory slots, because that's part of the game is, getting that treasure back to a safe place. So, um, yeah, well, I'll take care of that later. I think. Well, maybe I'll do it right now. So he's pretty much carrying all of his. He doesn't really have much in a stash. So we'll say it's 71 gold in. Let's see. Yeah, we'll put a ration on his horse, and then gold. And let's see her. Okay, she's got a spot, so we'll put pouch, gold. And we'll say she's got 100, so that means that she's got 411 in her stash. Not, I mean the numbers add up, but she obviously that stash is probably back in the place where they started, which was Targon Village. And she loses some gold too. All right, so they don't really want to stay in town too long. It's time to go back. And let's see, nothing happened, so we're gonna go through the hills. Let's see, does she get a horse? Does she have a horse already? I'm gonna say it's pretty unlikely. It's only on a 6. No. Oh, but there's a 33. There's a double. Let's see. Let's see what our twist is. So I'm going to say that's the second time I've kind of determined that she doesn't have a horse. So I think that unless she really has a need for one, she's probably not the type of person who has a horse. All right, so let's take a look at our 33. That gives us a random event to NPC related. So in this case, well, there's a couple of NPCs. It might be someone else. Let's see, negative spin or positive spin. Positive spin. Okay, cool. Since she's right there, I'm just going to say that whatever it is, it applies to her. Whatever this positive spin is, and that's going to be 1. So first verb. 4-3, care. And then second noun, 5-1. Care, love. Huh. I think she may have a thing for Lucas. I think I'm going to go with that. She was impressed with his battle prowess during that, and that's something that really gets her barbarian heart going. But it was love and care, so to me that kind of implies that it's more than just some kind of carousing barbarian one night stand thing. I think she may actually be starting to develop some real feelings towards him. And that is a positive spin for him. So I'm going to put, let's see, care/love for Lucas. And I think, I won't roll anything right now, but that might lead to an interesting interaction later on if there's some kind of twist involving Morian, because she's been kind of hanging with him. That you haven't come across anything that says she's, is into Lucas or anything, but jealousy's green eyes might come flashing in out of the darkness later on. So something to keep in mind is a possible subplot that, Morian might, should be running around singing, please don't take my man, Morgana. All right. Now we're going to travel. So through the hills, they're going to be doing the foot pace because the barbarian lady, she don't want a horse. She's just going to walk. So we're going to have we're not going through any new hexes, so we're not going to automatically generate new discoveries or anything. But we take, on the first day, we're going to run a 7. So the 7th hour, that's when we're going to have our check. So pretty much right before camp time. So we've got, it's going to take 4 hours. You have 4 hours to go through the trees, and then a total of 8 to go through the mountains. I think they found that mountain pass. So I'm going to say, I know when they went through, I didn't really give them any more time. But I think with the mountain pass, I'm going to kind of treat that, maybe not as a full road, but I'll say 4. I'll double it. So let me note that here so I know to do that every time. All right, so 4 walking to get through. All right, so right as they're almost out of the mountains, almost across the pass, we're going to roll our encounter check. All right, now a mountain encounter check is, I think, 1 through 3. Yes. So 1 through 3. And then if it's on a 6, it's a discovery. 1 through 3, an encounter. All right. So they make it through the pass. Nothing's going on. It's just a hot day. And it's boiling. They should probably... you know what I think? As the day progresses, we have each of them make a constitution check to see if they are fatigued at the end of the day, just because it is boiling. All right, so our guy Lucas. Let's see. So he gets a +2. Okay, no, so he is exhausted. She is exhausted. And let's see about our barbarian. Oh, she loves it. She's just trotting along. Or, of course, maybe she's, maybe she's taking off some of those skins, trying to get Lucas's attention. But either way, she's unaffected by the boiling heat. Maybe it's because she's got the lighter armor, and she's not on a stinky horse. So when they come to camp, they are exhausted. Or those two are exhausted. They're fatigued. It's been a long, hot day. And they're actually like right at the edge. Basically crossed that hex. So they're right about there when nighttime comes. And let's see. We'll mark off rations. Ration. As they stop to eat and have some conversation. Let's see. She's going to offer to take the first watch so that they can get so they can get over. Does anything? Let's see. No, I'm not going to say right now. I'll leave it. I was going to see if they're, if she made some kind of move or something on Lucas, but we'll let it. We'll go slower. For that. This isn't Mass Effect after all. But does anything happen during the night? Nope. Okay, so they have a nice quiet night in the foothills, and the next morning they make it to town. And 5 hours. Oh, 5 hours. So it doesn't take them 5 hours to get back to Targon Village. Oh, I was going to see if... Oh, well, too late now. I had planned, because she had wanted to get soldiers. She'd wanted to get some kind of mercenaries or something when they left, but they were banned. I had planned on her trying to see if she could get some in the city and pay, but we'll say for whatever reason they did not. Maybe she really forgot about it, or maybe she saw the thuggish people that she would end up hiring and offering jobs to, the rough men, and decided she didn't want to go. She didn't want to go over there. She was not feeling comfortable, even with her 2 friends backing her up. So they bring, they get back into town. This is day 6. I think it's day 6. I might have skipped a day in there, but they get back to town and get back to Targon Village, or Torag Village, and they bring Morgana, the Heart Piercer, to meet Lord Pendry. It's been a while since I've been in the village. To Lord Pendry. And he is excited to meet her acquaintance. I think I had rolled previously that they didn't already know each other. He just knew of her reputation. So he either has something specific, maybe that's still hidden. He is a sneaky elementalist that he may want her for something else, or she just has he had just heard of her and wanted to hire her. Either way, he does. He's happy and shows his appreciation. And I don't remember how much I was going to give them for that. Let's see. Oh, offers 150 gold. All right. Got 150 gold each. I'll say so. I will say so. He's rich, and it was, it was pretty big. So that's going to be 150 more. The barbarian lady doesn't get that, but 150. So, let's see. I'm just going to write the plus 150 over here. And I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that money later, just because we're almost right at 30 minutes, and I don't need to do that right now. Let's see. Okay. Plus 150. All right. So he hands them. Let's see. Is he trying to get greedy? Nah. Lord Pendry, Lord Pendry reaches up, because remember he's short, he reaches up and he hands a small box with the payment and says, good job, I'm very excited. This is for you. Divide it up as you see fit. Now please, Mistress Morgana, come. I have a proposition for you. And the tall, powerfully built woman walks into the manor house behind the short, gnomish lord. And Lucas and Morian look at each other, jingle the box, smile in satisfaction, and Morian says, I think she likes you. Who? Come on, Lucas. Anyway, we will call it right there and pick up later, and happy gaming.